G'day and welcome to everybody to Jim's 5am Club. And today I come to you from just down here at the Rocks. I'm at a place called the Cadman's Cottage. Never been here before. Well, I've been here but I've never paid attention. And I understand there is a cruise operator known as John Cadman. And I never realised that the name Cadman was synonymous with Cadman's house. So here's a bit of the history of Cadman's house. So next time I see the John Cadman or the Cadman Cruises, I'll pay a little bit more attention and understand that it's a name which goes back in history here and is part of Australia's historical fabric. Anyway, let's go on a bit of a walk and talk, and today I want to have a chat to you about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart. And I went to a seminar many years ago here in Sydney, back in the mid-90s I think it was, and Jim Rohn was the seminar leader, and he said something which was really important and really resonated with me. And I'm sure it'll resonate with you as well, especially during these current times and experiences that we're all living at the moment, with elections, with fanaticism, with people getting overexcited about things that they may not really need to get excited about. And I remember Jim Rohn saying that don't get too fanatical about politics, about outcomes in terms of who wins the elections and all of those sorts of things. Don't get too connected, don't get too excited, because he said that at the end of the day it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which party wins the election. It doesn't matter who leads the country, because at the end of the day nothing much changes anyway. You know, you still need to wake up in the morning and go to work. You still need to compete with all the challenges that come into our lives, and nobody's life is going to dramatically change regardless of who wins the election, regardless who comes into power, and regardless of what happens. Because even if you take into consideration all the talk, all the posturing, all the things they say that they're going to do, as Jim Rohn said, nothing much changes. And most importantly, this is probably the clincher for me, Jim Rohn said that the people who were complaining before the election will continue to complain after the election. They will continue to blame the high taxes. They will continue to blame COVID. They will continue to blame the leaders and the policies and everything about politics. They'll continue to blame the media. They'll continue to blame every single person around them about the problems that they have, and basically point the finger and say the reason why I can't succeed in life is because of A, B and C. And A, B and C will always be in their lives, and they'll always have somebody else to blame. If you look back over the years, if I look back over the years, my parents ran businesses, they made investments, they took risks during times which were a lot more challenging than what they are now. My parents were investing, and I was investing when the interest rates were 17.5%. I was doing things, investing, running businesses with my parents back in the days when Australia was going through the worst possible recession it ever had. You know, there are people who over the past decade here in Australia, I've got friends of mine who have become very, very wealthy during a time where most people say it's just too hard, it's just too challenging. You can't possibly make money during these times because it's too risky, it's too this, it's too that. Spare a thought for all the suckers who paid attention and listened to idiots like Stephen Keen, the economist, who was predicting a decade ago that house prices would halve and that the economy would crash and the whole world would come to an end. Think of all that generation of people who didn't go out and invest and buy a house for fear that the houses were too expensive, for fear that it was the wrong time and they were better off just renting and keeping their money and saving their money to build a bigger deposit to buy a house or to buy an investment when the market crashed. Did the market crash? No. It just went on to bigger and better things. Now, if you're looking for certainty through governments, if you're looking for certainty through politicians and politics, it's not going to happen. There is no certainty because nobody's been to tomorrow. Trump hasn't been to tomorrow, Joe Biden hasn't been to tomorrow, and most certainly Kamala Harris has never been to tomorrow. So it's a leap of faith. But guess what? Don't worry about who's leading. Don't worry about their policies. Don't worry about all the BS that they've been saying in terms of what's going to happen, what they're going to do, and what they're not going to do. Because chances are, like most things in the world, it's all talk and nothing is going to change very much. The only things that are going to change in our lives are the things that we do, are the changes that we make, are the decisions that we take, and the effort that we make. So don't worry, don't get too fanatical. My father always told me to not get too fanatical about anything because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort, and it achieves nothing. All you do is halastika dasu. You damage your heart, you damage your friendships, and you ruin social circles and friendships on things which are irrelevant, are inconsequential in the scheme of things, because as we said before, at the end of the day, our future depends on what we do. We've all got different futures, we've all got different plans, different dreams, and different opportunities. You know, for example, you could have 100 people standing on this wharf here, all with fishing lines, fishing in the harbour here, and one person will get the big fish, and everybody else will get nothing. It doesn't mean there's no fish down there. It just means that one person created their magical future, and the rest of us are waiting for our future to happen. But we shouldn't stop. We shouldn't slow down. We shouldn't give up hope of a better future. We just need to focus on our own plan. We need to run our own race. We need to listen to our own GPS, be our own navigator, and by all means follow and set our own compass depending on the values and the goals that we have set for ourselves, and not depend on other people to magically create the dreams that we want in our lives, because it's not going to happen. Nobody but nobody is going to come to your house, knock on your door and say, here we are, here are your dreams, you can live happily ever after. So as we said, we need to make our own luck, we need to follow our own dreams, we need to set our own sails, and we've got the sails of the Opera House over there just to remind us that we need to set our own sails, just like the architect set the beautiful sails of the Opera House and has made it an aesthetic beauty which is world-renowned. So all I can say, all I can encourage young people to do is to set themselves up, to position themselves in front of explosive growth and to believe in their future, to live with positive expectancy, but not only to live with positive expectancy, but to act and to take action and to move towards the picture that you have of your future and work hard for whatever you want. I guess the bottom line in terms of investment and our near future is it's become very obvious to me now, and I've spoken to my investment advisor, that climate change seems to be the gravy train of the future, where all the big money is going to be made. So think carefully, think clearly about shifting some of your money into these sorts of areas and be on that gravy train, the gravy train called climate change, and to position yourself, as I said, position yourself in areas where there's going to be explosive growth and explosive investment. Even if it's a waste of time, it doesn't matter. We're here to make money, we're here to feather our nest, and we're here to create a better future for ourselves, our family, and for the people around us. So I guess that's about it from me. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. Stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, don't, under any circumstances, become fanatical about anything, because it's a waste of time. But just look for the opportunities that arise, because sooner or later, every change, every challenge will present opportunities to each and every one of us, and you just got to grab it with both hands, 10 fingers and both arms, and bring it close to you and make the most of every opportunity as it presents itself. Remembering to set the sails, we can't change the wind, but we can certainly set the sails, change the rudder, and just continue along our merry way, trying to achieve all the dreams that we've set ourselves, and not under any circumstances to depend on anybody else to make those dreams manifest, but based on our own activities, our own actions, our own plans, and the energy that we expend in our personal exertion, and to live the life that we have designed for ourselves, of course with God's help, and to continue unabated on our path, and not to live hoping that people like Steve Keen, their dreams or their predictions come true, because obviously they're not. So stay positive, invest while you can afford it, but live with positive expectancy. Take care, everybody. Yassas, and until we chat again, I look forward to chatting and seeing you again tomorrow from a different location with a different message to get us through the day and hopefully share some knowledge, some wisdom, some experience, some observation with each and every one of us, and hopefully it can come boomeranging back through your expectancy and your experiences. Yasas, take care, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.